Lords and ladies and gentlemen, today's topic, Taurus Suns. Taurus Suns, you guys have something very formal about you, almost old worldly. There's a 50s etiquette, possibly even further back. I think the dream world for a Taurus might be living in the castle of Versailles or any luxurious castles, really. The planet for Taurus is Venus, and Venus rules money, romantic love, luxury, and aesthetics. So it's no surprise that you bulls out there love the finer things in life. And the phrase to describe a Taurus is I have. A lot of Tauruses feel that whatever they have is what defines them. When you are friends with a Taurus, they will probably give you gifts as a way to say thank you. They're big into social protocol. They're probably the most formal and polite of any of the signs. If you want to really give a Taurus a heart attack, just tell them to wing it. They're big planners. They want everything buttoned down. They want everything to be systematic. They're not big into chaos. They want everything to be very organized. Years ago, I read a stat that there are more Taurus Oscar winners than any other sign, probably because of their tenacity and their love of the arts. They're go-getters and they don't stop until they get to their goal. They love soft things and soothing colors. So the colors of a Taurus are green, yellow, orange, all the earth colors. Because in addition to loving the finer things in life, they also love nature. When you really think about it, there's nothing man-made that is as beautiful as nature. The sunsets, ocean, the forest. So while a Taurus might not like all of the bugs and uncomfortable scenarios, so they probably won't want to live in a cabin in the woods, when they go to nature, they feel centered. They love to be surrounded by the beauty of nature. I was thinking about something. I was watching the show Outlander, and I thought, this show really encompasses every aspect of a Taurus so perfectly. From the music to the nature and the beautiful scenery to the formal world that they're living in, juxtaposed with the brutal wilderness and wiliness of the Scottish Highlanders, and the sensuality and romance. Tauruses, when they fall in love, they want to fall in love once, and they want to stay with that person. They get very set in their ways. So once they make a decision, that's it. A Taurus will do just about anything for someone that they care about because they will put their tenacity to work. And nothing really gets in the way of the bull. Although if you do want to throw them off, tell them to move. If they're forced to move, there's probably nothing that can disrupt their life as much as moving. Having all of their things thrown into boxes, it's just like pure torture. They love their things. They want to be surrounded in their things. They're crazy collectors too. I know some Tauruses that, well, you might even say there's something wrong with them. One Taurus friend, she actually has no room in her house for sitting down. She has one chair. No room for a coffee table, no room for a couch. Why? Well, because she's a hat collector. And so her whole house is full of hats. Yeah, you heard me right. Another Taurus that I know is a collector of Star Wars toys, and he has Star Wars toys in every single room, filling all of the walls. Another Taurus, she has seasonal decorations for every holiday, and it's to the point where she has no wall space and no storage space. I guess a lot of you other signs might think that's a little crazy, but not a Taurus. Oh no. Of course, on the positive side, a Taurus that I know is an amazing designer. She creates all her own clothes, she has a beautiful collection, and she has an eye for the perfect fabrics. While Tauruses want to be successful in their career, and they will be, because nothing will stop them, they're also really big homebodies. They make their home their sanctuary. They are surrounded by their luxurious things, soft fabrics, cozy blankets, delicious wines, cute kittens, you name it. Oh, and if you really want to win one over, the way to a Taurus's heart is through their stomach. They love food. Sometimes Tauruses can be a little bigger. They just can't get enough. Types of food, they're often adventurous. They want it to be really good. Comfort food, but it has to be delicious. It has to be the best. Sometimes people and society can drive you crazy. They don't really follow rules. It's chaotic. And that's because you guys are running off of the rhythm of nature. If you really need to reset, go to a beautiful place. Watch a beautiful sunset, go to a museum, or listen to some beautiful music and drink a glass of wine and just relax. Taurus is a fixed sign. They're a little stubborn, but we don't hold it against you. That's how you have to be to get things done. Well, it's true. And you hate drama. Because drama just gets in the way of, well, progress. How can people get anything done when they're just so busy with drama? Okay, so I've described a person who's very calming and in touch with nature and loves beautiful things, but there's another side. If you push them really far, well, they have a temper, an avalanche. Like, it builds and builds and builds, but once you've pushed them too far, it's the point of no return. While you guys are always there for the people you love, there is one piece of advice I might give you. You see the world in black and white, right and wrong, and yes and no. That's because you are an earth sign, so you are very practical and grounded. But often with the other signs, there's more emotion going on and more energy. So embracing the gray area will bring you closer to the people that you love. It doesn't mean you have to change who you are. It just means that if you try to push yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit, it will make life more interesting and you'll get to see new perspectives. So a lot of Tauruses, because they love the things that Venus loves, which is money, they're very successful. But other Tauruses, if they're not after monetary gain, you might find some Tauruses that are in the art world. They want to take the beauty that they see in nature and they want to recreate it. Their art is not going to be modern and like brutal, but it's going to be soothing and warm and cozy. You want to know the biggest no-no with a Taurus? It's simple. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Tauruses don't play games. If they arrange to get together with you, let's say you have a dinner party and you cancel last minute, that is a big no-no. You are talking to the kings and queens of social protocol. And if you want to make a good impression, you better stick to the plan. Also, dress up. If you're around them, remember, they're formal. No cross talk. Put a little effort into things. While Tauruses aren't really super sentimental, they do remember the little things, the creature comforts. They might give you a gift of something that you talked about, like a little bar of soap that's just the right color, just the right scent. They'll remember some tiny little detail that other people, it would just go so unnoticed. Oh yeah, and so when people think of the planet Venus, which is the planet that rules Taurus, the number one thing you're going to think of is love, romantic love. Tauruses really want to set the mood, throw on the Barry White record, and seduce you. The candles will be lit, a homemade dinner. They're very sensual people. Everything that they can touch, smell, taste, feel, hear, all of the senses are the way that they take in the world. Anything that's sensory, that's where they're going to really be experts. You also might be surprised that a Taurus will call you out. They're very logical and they're very systematic, so if they notice that something about your plan or what you're talking about doesn't make any sense, they might call you out. So don't take offense to that because they're really just trying to help. Alright, so that is my take on Taurus Sun Signs. Sign up and subscribe.